Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Becky Thames here live for the Drive at 5, and I'm going to tell you on this Drive at 5 why you don't sleep with the boss. You know, a lot of people that sleep with their bosses, they usually don't win. I mean, they come out on the raw end of the deal because usually a man or a woman, hey Michelle, usually a man or a woman will not leave their spouse for you. And if they cheat on you, they'll probably cheat on or if they cheat on their spouse, they'll probably cheat on someone else against you too, right? So I want to tell you about today. I was off work today because Big Papa and I went back to my hometown to watch my nephew graduate from the 5th grade. And it was a really good time to see everyone. And also I saw my high school cheerleading coach and I was like, rah, 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 I'm still a cheerleader, right? Hey Shayla, I'm still a cheerleader. I'm still cheering for all of you to make your first time online with e-commerce. And so I was telling her that, and well, not at that e-commerce, but I was still telling her that I love cheering and everything like that. So what I want to talk about today is when we got home. Remember we got approved maybe 6 weeks ago to sell hazmat materials on Amazon because we have one product that we sell on Amazon that I've also bundled into 3 things, so 3 different products, but we cannot, they wouldn't let us send it to Amazon. Even though we were hazmat approved, we had to get approval for each of these products, and they were just being aggravating. I submitted the MSDS, which is a material safety data sheet, and then they wanted the SDS, which is the safety data sheet, because the OSHA just changed their regulations. So they were trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, listen guys, I'm a lab director. Our lab's fully compliant. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be submitting. And finally, today, there's still one more that has to get through. But because of that, we have this one product that we're shipping from home. And Bud, my amazing husband, is our logistics director, right? So while I'm at work, and because of our Amazon business, he got to retire and stay home. And I always tell everyone he runs our house, guys, and I am so proud of it. He runs the washing machine, he runs the stove, he runs the iron. He is like truly an amazing, amazing man. And so one of the number one questions that I get asked is, well, Becky, how do you do it? You know, you have a full-time job, you're a mom, you're a wife, you have a thriving Amazon business, you teach all of us. How do you do all this? And I always say, behind every good woman, there's an amazing man, and Bud is truly my gift from God. I tell him all the time, and if you know me, I tell you as well. So I'm telling all of the internet world that Bud Thames is an amazing man. He does not have a brother, and his father's passed away, so sorry. But let me tell you why you shouldn't sleep with the boss. So today is Wednesday, right? And it's Welp Wednesday. So I am a member of Ray Higdon's Rank Makers, and in his group, every Wednesday, he encourages us to give a monetary blessing to a complete stranger. So Bud and I, you know, we've been doing Weight Watchers and doing really, really good on Weight Watchers, but we went back through Orangeburg, which is near my hometown in South Carolina, and I was like, I really would like to eat at Shoney's. Do y'all have a Shoney's, like Fat Boy? Do y'all have those? I don't know. I used to have a Fat Boy. Anyway, we went to Shoney's, and our waitress was probably in her 60s or something like that. And I said, Bud, I would really like to bless this lady for Welp Wednesday. And so what we did is whatever our bill was like $20.37. So we were like, man, we should just come out to eat often with just he and I instead of the whole family, right? So what I did is I doubled the bill. So I tipped her $20.37. So that's what I did for Welp Wednesday. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing, to do a Welp Wednesday where you bless someone financially. But while we were sitting there, we were talking about other things that we can do. And so we will be like delivering pizzas to the fire stations, the police stations, and things like that as Welp Wednesdays further progress. But anyway, and remember last week or the week before, I can't remember, I gave money to a complete stranger at the post office. So I want to encourage you to do something. It doesn't have to be, you know, $20. It could be paying for the coffee for the person behind you, paying for someone at the ball game, you know, when they're eating or something like that. So it doesn't have to be much. Because listen, guys, if you're trusted with the little things and helping people, you'll be trusted with the bigger things. And it is so, so true. Okay, so back to my story. So we got home, we had all these packages to ship. And so I said, well, but I'll print the labels for you. Now he's been doing this since he's retired, like 2 years, right? So he's been shipping these things and he has a system. And when you have a system, you don't want to like break the system, right? So I said, well, I'll print these labels. So I printed them. Well, I didn't know how to orient them correctly. So I didn't want to like make them print over each other. So I said, well, I'll just take these two and I printed them on 3 pieces of paper. And so when I took him downstairs for him where he was packaging them, he goes, you know, you just wasted 3 labels. That's why you should stay in the president's chair and let the worker bees do all the work. I was like, okay, Big Papa, Bud's on you now. He's downstairs. Hey, Big Papa, he just hung up a TV. So anyway, I said, okay, I can see. So then he, we had a lot, and so he was trying to put them all in one bag to take to the post office. And I said, well, you might want to get 2 bags, right? And he said, oh, he didn't say anything. He just kept stuffing them in the one bag, and he put it on the table. And we have a really high table. Well, he walked through the hall to do something, and bam, 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 they all fell on the floor. So I said, and that's why I sit in the president's chair. And so he walked around the corner. You know what he did, guys? He went, he shot me the bird. He shot me the bird. And so I laughed, and then he did some kind of mumbles about how he was going to call the union and complain about hostile work environment. And I said, well, you know, we live in South Carolina, and we're an at-will state. And so that means that both the employer and the employee can leave the job without a reason or anything. So we laughed, and he left and went to the post office. Well, the next thing I know, he must have written this while he was sitting in the post office parking lot, but he said something about, yeah, that's why you don't sleep with the boss. And I just thought that was funny because he's very, very quick-witted, and I wanted to share that story with you. I know I typed it out on my Facebook group, but so as soon as he left to take the packages, I was on the phone with Amazon again. And so the whole point of this is, okay, I've been dealing with this for 6 weeks, trying to get this product through hazmat. And if you call Amazon, be prepared. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to take about 30 minutes. And you need to know that. So literally, you call them on, you put your phone down and come play on Facebook, you work on your PowerPoint, whatever you're doing. So don't get agitated because you are on hold for 30 minutes with Amazon. It's just part of it, guys. And if you expect that, then if they answer your question in 10 minutes, you're like, oh, yes. So anyway, 30 minutes I was on hold, and I asked for the supervisor. And I said, hey, I'm getting these generic messages. Hey, we're working on it. We'll get back to you. Hey, we'll follow up with you. And it was the same thing, copy and pasted. So I didn't want to hear that anymore, right? And so I called back. I asked for the supervisor, and he said, okay, he pushed some buttons, and voila, my one product that I bundle four products, 3 of them are hazmat together. That one was approved that I can send in today. So we'll start sending those in tonight. And then the one other product he was going to send up, and he said, wait at least 4 days and it should be approved. So we'll see if it's finally approved, because I did have to submit an SDS for each one of those. But that's what I wanted to share with you today. 1, be persistent. 2, have fun in your work, guys. I know Bud and I had fun today, just laughing over that little incident, but have fun. It's all about having fun and being serious, and also to manage your expectations, because if you know that you think you're going to call Amazon, and I know for me, it takes me about 25 minutes to get to work from my house. I'll call Amazon on my ride to work. And I know exactly what I'm going to tell them. I'm not wasting time. And that's what you have to do when you work a business part-time. You have to work the business in the nooks and crannies of your life. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Listen, tomorrow night, I'm going to do a live webinar on private label. I say this all the time. My goal, I'm very goal-oriented, so my goal is to do the private label course webinar 100 times this year. I think I'm on like number 28, so I'm a little behind schedule because it's almost June, right? So almost half the year is over, so I should be near 50. But I was like, okay, I took some time off for baseball because my boys have baseball games almost every night. And then tonight they were supposed to play one of them, but it got rained out. Last night we got rained out. So it's just crazy. Almost soon, baseball will be over and I'll be back on my weekly schedules. But tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, I am doing a live private label webinar. You can register at privatelabelcourse.com and just come and listen to my thought process, because that's what you need to succeed with private label. I mean, anybody can teach you how to private label. There's thousands of gurus out there that say, hey, do this, do that. But what they don't have is the thought process behind why I do what I do. And so if you learn that thought process, if you say, oh, well, this is why she lists consumables, so she can get sales over and over and over and over. And yes, these hazmat items are consumables. And if you've been watching me, you know that I post, like I had one that's been a customer through Amazon, but a customer of mine for 3 years, guys. 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. They didn't order in 2017, but they came back in 2018. So three-year order, and that's what you want. That you want that brand recognition, right? Okay, so hope you all have an amazing Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow on The Drive at 5. This is Becky Thames signing off. Bye.